For those of you at home are wondering what's going on, our partner in conversation, Steve Ochs, is trying to turn on his camera. But the fact that he is a middle-aged human being, the technology is out of his workable space.
This is
This is
fascinating
so
dialogue.
true.
This is fascinating narrative.
Yeah.
Keep narrating this picture, Gary.
Hey,
Holy shit! Oh, you
you
scared me.
just suddenly
I've never
appeared.
been, I've never been so surprised to see me.
Now, did you choose the Jetsons' living room
Yes.
circa 1957? This is
Yes.
okay. So this is where you want to be
Yeah, I like
in
that.
this broadcast.
Well, as Kenny can tell you, as he's been to my home,
It doesn't look like anything like that.
no, it looks nothing like this.
No, right.
It's not colorful like this. Ours is a much more sort of
Okay.
dignified, subdued kind
Yours
of.
is lived in. Nobody's ever lived in that space behind you. Your house at home is lived in. Yeah. Some houses are lived in. You know, you can tell when people lived here. But
Yeah.
like when I bought this house, I bought a brand new house. Nobody had ever lived here. And I love the fact that nobody ever lived here. That's why I bought it. Because I'm the first person to live here.
I live in a 150-year-old farmhouse. People have probably died right where I'm sitting
You
right
could have
now.
ghosts.
Several
You could have
people.
ghosts.
Animals
Yeah.
have died where you're
Animals have died here. Yes, absolutely. Pilgrims probably settled here.
sitting. Yes.
I'm in
You might
Vermont.
find a
You know
I
that,
have
Steve?
no history in this house at all. There's no characters. There's no ghosts. There's nothing. It's like if you said if these walls could talk, they would go.
They would have nothing to say. Yeah, whatever.
I'm the only one they've ever met. What are they going to do? Talk about me?
Now that we can see Steve, should we sort of start the show? I'm Gary Kroger, coming to you from Vermont. I'm joined as always by Ken Seisler in a brand new home where no one has lived in Calabasas, California. Today, we are talking to a great friend, Mr. Steve Ochs. I believe you describe yourself as a recovering stand-up comic, right?
That is true. Yes. I still go to the meetings. I still go every day.
You did get back to the stage with Life in the Middle Ages,
Yes.
and that was after your book called Midmen.
Actually, it was the opposite.
Oh, it's the opposite.
It was the
Well-
show and then the book.
Your book Midmen, we had you on the show as a guest a couple of years ago to talk about your fantastically funny, but I found very useful book about becoming middle-aged.
But are you still
post-middle-aged.
middle-aged, Steve? Are you still middle-aged?
No, I'm not. I'm not middle-aged anymore. In fact, I had started work on another book called Oldish because I'm not really old and I'm not middle-aged, so I was just calling it Oldish.
We're elderly.
I have some of that written.
You know what we
Steve,
are? We're elderly.
I'm a senior citizen.
I'm
No,
a
I'm not a
citizen.
senior citizen. I'm an elderly person.
You're a senior citizen by every definition, and when it comes to getting 10% off in a hotel room,
Right.
you are a senior citizen, sir. You get
I don't
a
use
blue
any
plate
of those.
special.
I do not take a discount because I'm older. All right?
I do.
Don't fuck with me. Somebody says to me, you know what? You get a senior discount. I go, you know what? I'm paying full fucking price. All right?
I got news for you, Kenny. Most of the time, they see you and they give you the discount.
It's true.
I
It's
don't-
true.
No, not after I
It's
tell
true.
them.
Yes.
No,
Oh,
I
yes.
tell them, I fuck it. I want the real price. I want the real man's price.
10
That's a-
years ago, I would check into a hotel on business, and the well-meaning desk clerk would say, "Do you qualify for any special discounts?"
Mhm.
Implying, "Are you a senior citizen?" And I would be
Right.
offended. And absolutely. Do I look like
Right.
I'm over 65?
Exactly.
Now at 69 years old? Bring it. Bring
You
it.
know, I'm still sensitive. We went to Vegas a couple of weeks ago and had a blast. By the way, I have not had fun in Vegas in
Yeah,
decades.
I hate Vegas.
And we had 4 days
Well,
of
did you
actual
gamble?
fun.
Did you gamble?
I don't gamble.
Yeah, well, that's the best way. That's why you can have fun in Las Vegas.
The only gambling I ever did in Vegas, I bought a Wayne Newton ticket.
Oh, in the small room, too,
No,
right?
no, I saw him. I saw him in like what was it? They've closed it since the Stardust.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's alive. He's Gary. You mentioned the
He's
small
playing smaller rooms, but he still puts on a very good show. Very
Well,
good
yeah, but it's
show.
like Barry Manilow. I can't look at their face.
We saw Barry
That's right.
Manilow last year, and he was a blast.
No, I'm sure. I don't doubt that they're good entertainers. I just
Yeah.
think at this point, when Barry Manilow looks so beyond human, and
You get
and
used
so does
to it.
Wayne Newton. Wayne Newton is like he
Wayne
had.
Newton.
It's just frightening.
Wayne Newton has a skin bun. He actually has a skin bun on his neck.
Yeah, I don't feel as though I'm being entertained by somebody from this planet.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, gentlemen, as we're talking about getting older, right? The
Yes.
biggest mistake, and everybody makes it, is to try to look younger. You don't. You just look more manufactured.
Yes.
Don't tighten it. Look, I do hate the fact that there's a little bit of this going on. I hate
Nobody
it.
would have noticed it, Gary, but now you have to
But now,
point it out.
now that's
Now
all.
we all have to point out our
Yeah,
own little.
so it goes away if I stick my head out like a, all right. But that's the mistake, getting your eyes bobbed and your hair blackened and all that, where you look like you're doing dinner theater in St. Louis.
I get it when people want to make themselves look better. I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is that after they have it done, they look in a mirror and they go, "That was a good idea." I don't. That's when they have lips like so gigantic. They do go back into the mirror and they go, "Yeah, this is exactly what I wanted to look exactly like a duck."
Not necessarily. So, a little cautionary tale here, because no, people do a lot of these improvements, and they do a lot of these operations and what have you, procedures, and no, they can become very dissatisfied. So we had watched the Hedy Lamarr documentary, and which was fascinating, by the way, and I recommend it's probably on YouTube. And do you know the Hedy Lamarr's scientific background and all that?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Let me go down a quick rabbit hole
physicist,
here.
an inventor,
Yes,
no less.
she invented essentially the remote control. It's a kind of coding that I don't want to make myself look any dumber by trying to explain. But it was the first model, or the first use of it was in a Philco radio. So it wasn't even a television, it was a remote control for a radio. So we're watching the documentary and they show the radio that this was used upon, that was innovated. And the carcass of said radio is sitting not in the room that you see, but in the room in which I actually sit, right there. We're like, that is the radio in our hallway.
Wait, you really have the?
Yes.
Not
This is
the,
a true
but the
story?
model. The
We
model.
have, no. We have the carcass. So we don't have the works of the radio. So that would be the part that would
But you
communicate
have
with
the
remote.
carcass of the radio.
And I have the original ad for it. I found the original ad online, so you can see the carcass in the ad with the remote.
Okay, first
and
of
it
all, you
gives
got to stop
context.
calling it a carcass.
Hey, when we talk about, hey, what do you guys want to talk about? Blah, 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 blah. Basically,
Wait,
all
we
decided,
talk about what we want to talk about?
well, we talked about let's all
You
get
wouldn't
stoned and
talk.
get together, basically. But this question keeps coming up. We were going to talk about this with you years ago.
Okay.
What makes you funny?
I'm an odd case, so I'm sort of an outlier in that regard. In that I was really raised very much steeped in comedy, and found myself engaging very closely with comedy at a very young age.
Do you remember the first time that you said something that got laughs?
I don't think I could possibly remember that. I
I
don't know.
remember the moment when I realized that I had a certain ability that made me different from everybody else.
Was that right here on the Gary and Kenny show?
No, it was the day before we started.
Okay.
That's when the epiphany was. No, I realized this is true. So when I went to elementary school in Long Island, we lined up in rows to our different classes. Okay, every morning. That's outside of Robbins Lane Elementary School. We lined up in rows according to our class. Okay, but before we lined up, before we got into that, we all were just sitting around waiting. Now this was just after Thanksgiving. And there's a big, let me go back. I knew about Hitler when I was 2 years old.
Hitler?
Hitler. It's the first thing your parents teach you.
And this is
Hitler's
what makes you
bad.
funny.
So this is what makes you funny, and the story begins with Hitler.
Exactly.
Okay.
As all
so
good funny
I
stories do.
know by 5 years old, after reading about all these years of what a fucking evil man Hitler was, that Hitler was fucking evil. Okay?
I think we can agree.
There's a big fight going on between the kids, a big gift fight, because it's right before Christmas, and it's is there a Santa or is there not a Santa Claus? And this was there is a Santa Claus, so they were crying. And I was Jewish, but I wasn't sure about Santa Claus, but I knew they were coming to me. And they finally turned to me and they were, and you, what do you think? Is this Santa Claus? I said, yeah. There was a Santa Claus, but he was shot down by Hitler in 1945.
See, and it still gets laughs. Santa was shot down by Hitler.
And I remember the look on all of their faces. And they went, okay, well, take that. And that was the first time I remember thinking to myself, hey, you know what? That was pretty funny, Kenny.
Yeah.
I'm not
From
like
there on,
them.
that was the first time, and I remember it distinctly.
Yeah, that's very funny.
True story.
Well, Steve,
Dark.
I know you. I'm not making this up. I remember you saying something about the joy of, I mean, it sounds corny, but the joy of making people happy, getting a laugh, getting a smile.
I've always sort of gotten very familiar and been free to make jokes with people almost at first glance in my life. So anytime you're going up to the airplane counter or whatever to check into a flight or check a bag, whatever, any situation you're checking out of the supermarket, just every opportunity is an opportunity to potentially engage.
Quick little story. 10 years ago, I'm taking my son to the SNL, the Saturday Night Live 40th reunion. My son was 16 years old. We get to Chicago and a snowstorm hits, and all the way to the East Coast, every flight is being canceled. They're falling off the board. The people in front of me are pissed off at the counter agent. Going, yeah, I've got to get to fucking New York. You don't understand. I've got $1 million to stay. I've got to get to fucking New York. And she said, there's nothing that I can do. You could pay for first class. I'm not paying $3,000 for fuck. You get me to New York. I'm sorry, sir. By the time I got to the window, the gate, I said, look, I've heard what you've gone through, and I'm on the same flight, and obviously there's nothing you can do. And my son, he was not playing for dramatic effect, said, I guess we'll miss the Saturday Night Live reunion. I go, it's okay, son. It's okay. I'm going to take you into Chicago. We'll have a great time. We're turning away from the desk, and she goes, come here. You know how they do this for like 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Here. 2 first-class tickets to New York on the only flight going out. And she said, hurry, honey, hurry to the gate. We didn't pay for them.
Wow.
Nothing. But to your point,
Wow.
that's what kindness gets you.
Well, no, it's what a celebrity gets. It's a celebrity.
But I wasn't a celebrity to her. I mean, she saw how upset, how sad my son was. She must have figured I had something to do with the
she
show.
didn't know that you had
No,
been
she
on
didn't know who I was. So it wasn't any preferential treatment. It truly was, I could tell, 2 people who weren't assholes, respecting her position, and she does have the authority to look. There are 2
You know what?
seats.
I'm gonna try that one day, Gary.
Be nice. Smile at the flight attendant. Treat them respectfully. Don't take your shoes off.
I'm going to tell this to all the young people and all the old people listening. There was a time in this country that when you, even if in the lower classes, like Eastern Airlines going down to Florida, you were treated really well.
Yes.
You didn't feel like an animal.
Yeah.
You didn't feel like somebody being real, but they made the plane smaller. They made it more and more uncomfortable. They put these pressure cooker situations they create from the moment you get there, from, talk to anybody that's, trying to help you. By the time you get into the fucking plane, you really they shove you in. And I'm a little guy. I can fit. I see these giant people. I don't know how the hell they're going to get down the aisle, let alone get a seat. And then you put them in the situation, and then it erupts. It's not a surprise.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's a revolution of the people.
Well, I don't want to get political necessarily, but everything's degrading. Every
yes.
experience is degrading. Human contact, kindness, it's harder to give because, like you're saying, we're more uncomfortable. Everything is about the dollar. They shove more people onto airplanes so that they can pay for the exorbitant gas prices or whatever. And it filters down. Will it ever go back to better?
Never.
I put it to you guys.
The expectation from the nerdy experts that we are in for a very difficult period for about the remainder of our lives, about the next 20 years.
So that's how long you think I have? You think I have 20 years?
No, I was saying that, no, I didn't think you had 20 years.
Here's a rabbit hole I do want to go down. Kenny, we always talk about this. What are you doing to cope? What are you doing to stay sane?
It's not doing well.
Well, what are you doing that's failing then? But how are you trying?
Compare what we're going through with our country and with the world and with technology and climate and all of these things. You can kind of sort of look at our handling of these somewhere in the 5 stages of grieving.
Okay.
Because we're watching, essentially we're watching something die. We're watching a lot of things die.
You're going to need charts. You're going to need charts.
I have a whiteboard.
Yeah, you're
I
going to
have a
definitely need a
whiteboard.
diagram.
Since I'm also mourning the loss of Katie Porter, I think today, I have a whiteboard here in tribute.
Hey, by the way, so can we talk about the governor thing? I think it's kind of interesting what's going on with the
Oh
governor
yeah, you're a
stuff.
couple of Californians.
Yeah, but I think what happens in California is big news all
Well, of
everywhere,
course it
isn't it?
is.
Yeah.
Of course it is. You're,
Swalwell's out, which I think he might have been the front runner for a little while.
I think he was.
Yeah, yeah.
Democratic front runner.
And Katie Porter, I guess she was caught being a mean person. I'm just saying. I'm just telling you what was out there in the ether.
Yes, but there was
okay?
also a letter I shared on Facebook, you might have seen, signed by like 30 of the people that work with her or
I know
something,
about that.
attesting to just what a decent person she is.
okay.
I know that. And the question becomes, will that alone exonerate her from
No,
this?
it didn't.
It
She's
didn't.
gone. It's over.
No.
That's what happens in this world. It's like it doesn't matter once it comes out that you did this or caught on tape. And
Well, but
listen,
is that true? Case in point, Donald Trump. I mean, the man is convicted
Different
33
party.
times.
Different party.
And yeah, we do hold ours accountable, apparently.
Swalwell's
Yeah.
gone, right?
yes, that's true. If any Democrat did anything that any one of the Republicans did, they would be out. It would be unacceptable. That's
Yeah.
very true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you made a determination on who? I'll tell you, this is interesting. Bernie Sanders, who I know we're both very much.
I'm sorry. Are you talking about my senator, Bernie
I'm talking about your
Sanders?
Senator
Thank
Bernie.
you.
We love Bernie. Bernie
Congratulations.
endorsed
Oh.
Steyer, who's the billionaire.
I find that really interesting. I think it's because Becerra is such a sort of mainstream party man, Democratic candidate.
I thought he was going to come
that-
out for Kate Porter.
You'd think he would, but I think he's also looking realistically. He's also watching the numbers, right? So the
I
thing to
guess
do
so.
is-
I mean, but it does have an influence on me. Bernie Sanders' endorsement,
Yeah, that carries
Steyer
weight.
is enough for me to go. "Well, I definitely would look more at him.
Well, you know,
It's a big endorsement.
you can be a morally responsible billionaire. I mean, it is possible.
It's
You know,
possible.
we could go down this rabbit hole, and I don't want to, but you can be a good
How many rabbit
billionaire.
holes have we gone down tonight, guys?
Only
Let's-
rabbit
You
holes.
can be you can be Warren Buffett. You can be a good billionaire. As a non-Californian, and not that I'm not paying attention, and it's obviously important how California goes. Is Gavin Newsom building his war chest now for a presidential run?
I
He's
don't
being
Is it
know.
still
cagey.
just
I mean, he's being
speculation?
obvious and cagey at the same time because you don't hear him doing that, like fundraising for that or announcing
Right.
or anything, or even teasing an announcement.
I wondered, since you guys are there, what the
Do
buzz
you
is.
think he would have a shot given?
Really good one.
I think we'd have a good shot. Yeah,
really good shot.
I do.
He's like
And
the
I think he
anti-Trump in every
has
way.
the intelligence to debate the issues.
You know, it is amazing. Well, first of all, he has some skeletons in his closet that they'll drag out.
They're not really in his
But
closet.
I mean, and the other thing is that California is very, very disliked across America. I mean, when I go and or listen to people, or even they're not like, LA is not like a cool place to be. It's like, fuck LA. Oh
Well,
man, Californians are crazy.
That's not.
They are crazy.
That's what I get from conservatives who have always hated California.
Right.
But I don't get that from Democrats, from progressives around the country. We still like California.
Well, I will point this out. Whoever I keep hearing, everybody's moving out of California. Everybody's moving out of California. It's like, wow, California's losing all these people. Less people are coming into California. Well, all of this may be true, but the traffic is so bad here.
Yeah,
It's like, if all these people are leaving,
yeah.
Yeah.
You think?
and whatever, but it's unbelievable. You can't go. I think I had to go like 11 miles the other day, and it took me like an hour. It's
Somebody once wrote, it takes an hour to get to Los Angeles from Los Angeles.
yes, yes.
Well,
Yeah.
guys, it's why I moved. It really is. It really is. I had a little boy, and I just didn't want to spend 4 hours a day in my car. And nothing is so important. My career wasn't more important than getting home and pushing a swing. I mean, honestly.
It destroys the quality of my life because I can't go anywhere. because I won't go to a sporting event, because I won't go to a concert. I mean, it really is terrible that how bad the traffic makes you feel.
Hey, you say this, but look, I get a little jealous, guys, and this is the honest to God truth. I've known Kenny for 1,000 years. Steve, we met for the first time, but I already knew of you a few years ago. I enjoy our interplay on social media, such and such. You guys get together. Don't you like, didn't you just go to a party together?
Yeah, we just hung
Oh,
out.
yeah,
We just
Steve,
hung
you're
out.
not
You
allowed
just
to talk
hung
about it.
out.
Steve,
Yeah.
you,
Yeah, we
you
can't talk
said we're
about
not
it.
allowed to talk about it.
But you're not allowed to talk about the party. But yeah,
That's
that's
what you
something.
said to
Oh,
me.
we're not allowed. You said we shouldn't talk about the party?
Can't talk about the party.
If I were to come to LA, would I be invited?
Oh, absolutely. Oh,
without
yeah.
a
You'd be a
doubt.
special
Without a
guest.
doubt.
I'd be a special guest.
Yeah, you would be a
Absolutely.
special guest.
I would come out just to be a special guest.
You're gonna have to get on a fucking plane.
Yeah, I had to get on a fucking plane, and I just looked at the price because my son is going out to LA.
Right.
It's $1,000 right
I
now.
know.
It doubled. It was $900.
Yeah. We have a Mexico City thing coming up, Julie and I, in a couple of weeks.
Do you know what the most significant thing about Mexico City right now?
It sunk 39 feet. I didn't know
That's
if that
the
was
big
a
news.
significant thing.
That's the most significant thing. It
Yeah.
sunk 39 feet.
Yeah.
That's big.
Since when?
And they say it's going to continue to sink.
Yeah.
Saying 39 feet since when? I mean, if we're
No,
talking plate
ongoing.
tectonics, or are we talking
Ongoing,
since
but it's
1983?
but the process is getting every year it's getting a little more sunk.
The ground it was built on is continuing to compress. I forgot what it was, what it was, but it was not
Landfill?
particularly. It wasn't rock.
Those, yeah. I don't. Yeah, whatever it was a bad idea.
Yeah. And it's a huge city, apparently. I've never been before, but it's a huge city, as I understand it.
It's huge and very smoggy.
I know people have gone there. Yes, very smoggy, but they love that place. Love Mexico.
Everybody
City.
loves it.
Yeah. Well, get there before it's sunk. Venice is sinking too, right?
Venice is sinking, and I've gotten my share of Venice. I'm not saying so. Go in peace. Go sink. I've had enough.
I've been there, done that.
We can subtitle this episode "The Sinking Cities of the World." What else is sinking? I think Chicago's sinking. Pieces of Chicago are sinking because there's a lot of landfill. I think Navy Pier is sinking. Northwestern in the north is sinking.
No, that science changed. We would know that to text a geologist and go and see if this was a good place to build. It's not the way it was back in the day.
That's
Okay?
right.
Back in the day, it'd be some guy, he'd go, that feels pretty solid. Let's make a town. Let's make a town here.
Hey, I got to ask you a question. This is not a. Yeah, what new is going on? I mean, Midmen, I loved. What new is happening for you?
Well, you guys read Number One with a Bullet.
Yes,
Yes.
loved it.
Thank you. So that was my novel, and my manager and very dear friend Steve Marks, who Kenny knows now,
Yeah.
Was out hustling to get an agent to get this thing a publishing deal, and I was getting the most flattering rejection letters you could hope for, I guess. Like literally
let's
the
hear
quotes
one.
from rejection letters I could put on the back of the book. You know what I mean? They were really.
Wow.
I love rejection
what
letters.
So what
You do
would
you.
be? I mean, is like a backhanded compliment? Like what
Can
would
you,
be a
can
rejection?
you quote one?
I know I could probably bring up a file with them, but just hilarious. I was laughing on page what, like just they really enjoyed the book.
And then, but you're saying they rejected it.
Yes, because
So you got letters that
because-
said, "This is great. We love this,
yes,
but we don't want it."
that's right. And I had it happen before with a script where I was called into every major studio. I was meeting these big wigs everywhere, telling me how magnificent it was, and not buying, not even optioning it.
I love the concept of positive rejections.
It's horrifying.
Here's the best one I've ever gotten from a director, right? In a play that I was doing many, many years ago. He said, Gary, tomorrow when you do this scene, be more good.
I used to have, when we were working on Rugrats, one of the showrunners would go through our scripts, and this is not a joke, would just write MF on parts of the scripts. MF, make funny.
Right.
Yeah, it's brutal. But I was more good the next day. I was
Yeah.
more good.
We
I
made
kept
fun
the
of it.
part.
It's
We made
impossible to know. I mean, it's impossible to know what works when you're
Having
working
fun.
with creative people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, I've run a couple of rooms and I've been in a lot of rooms and it's
Well,
politically odd also because you're always trying to justify your worth because you want to get picked up,
Yes.
you
Well, you
know?
have to be good in the room. Although
Yeah.
and that's not necessarily the funniest comedy writer. The not necessarily the funniest comedy writer is not the best who's good
They
in
could
the
be more
room.
deliberative because
yeah.
in the room, like you're sitting on a script, if you're going around with a script and you're doing the read through, the writer read through, you're like spitting shit. That's what you're doing. Or in a sitcom, if you work in a sitcom, like in between tapings, you would get because they do two tapings in a night. In between tapings, you're back to the drawing board on the jokes that didn't work. So in the
Mm.
second taping, they're going to switch up the jokes to funny, and now you're really spitting jokes.
Well, you guys have been in the business for forever, and you know who the name Herb Sargent, right?
Oh,
Herb
Sure,
absolutely.
Sargent, of course,
Hmm.
legend. Your
Hmm.
show of shows, and then he was at SNL.
sure.
Well, Herb did the news at SNL. That was his primary function when I was there. One morning for the producers meeting with Dick Ebersol, we all get into his office at 10 o'clock. Dick is late, and Dick was famous for wearing a gigantic fur coat. And he would walk from his apartment in on the Upper West Side through Central Park to 30 Rock, and he was late, and he shows up, and he has a black eye, and he explains that he was mugged. And Herb Sargent, the quietest man who never says anything, leans into me and says, "Probably a trapper." That's what. So to your point, the
Yes.
funniest person is not always the
Absolutely.
most, glib, talky, jokey,
Right.
Absolutely. Well,
jokey.
that's what they say. Neil Simon, they say, wasn't very good in the room.
Yeah.
Right, because he didn't spit jokes. Well, that and one of the other problems is not to just blame a showrunner or a head writer on a sitcom for the failures, I guess, in a non-deliberative environment. It's the schedule. It's the
Yeah.
schedule because when you're working, you're like breaking stories while you're like assigned a script, while you're sitting in on punching the other scripts and doing so there's this process going on to churn these things out that really robs it in a big way by my experience of the deliberative process.
Listen, I don't want to belabor people with the process, but the process is from the start of after you do the table read, then they say, okay, go stand it up. So now you run through the rehearsal, and then the writers and the exec and the showrunners come down and they watch your run through, and
Mhm.
then you wait for notes. Okay. And then at the second showing, because then you run it through more now based on their notes. So you keep running and running. And then they're going to come down at the end of the day and they're going to look to see how you responded to the notes that they were given. Okay. And then again, they go off and they make changes. We have to wait around now for the changes. I mean, if that nothing milks the funny out of an experience, making sitcoms and getting everybody's input all the way through it, it becomes, and then you got to show after you do for the showrunners and I'm sorry to go through this, those people, then you have to run it through for the network comes down to look at it, and it's like wow, and then you got to run it all. And the biggest thing you have to know as a director who's directing any comedy is every time they do a line, you have to be the loudest person to laugh
Yeah.
Yeah.
every
Oh yeah.
time to keep it alive, to
Yeah.
laugh at the joke. Because if it's dead silence, everybody's going to do notes again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm exhausted just fucking talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys miss it? Do you miss it? I mean, the daily grind and
No, it's not the daily grind, but I do have the biggest part of it, and I was very grateful to be in the business, is that getting together with people and socializing and being in a room with funny people all day. Forget about the work. But I'd rather be
Mhm.
in a room full of funny people, having a good time and laughing. And that's kind of what I wanted to get into show business for. I would see people come on the Tonight Show, and they all were having a great time, and they'd be laughing or whatever. Well, even the people behind the scenes, the people who were the writers and whatever, they were very funny people.
Mhm.
So it makes it kind of like more entertaining.
It's a
That
great,
I
it's a
miss.
great
I miss being in a writer's
universe.
room.
Yeah.
I miss it. I miss honey wagons. I miss craft services. I miss being told to be more good in the next scene. I mean, I do. I really do miss
Do
it.
you
Yeah.
now but Gary, I follow you on Facebook, and you do all the things that, like, I don't know, I must have gotten stage fright or something. Like, I don't even do anything public anymore. You go out and you do all these public things. You put yourself
I
out
do.
there. You host things. You're in plays. You're out there doing stuff, right?
What about me,
Yeah.
Steve? What do I do? What about
There's
me?
a- you
He's
come
still
over
on
here
me,
sometime.
Kenny. He's still on me.
Yeah. Play
Yes.
golf and come over
I
here
do him
sometime.
first.
All right. So,
Well, yes, I
but
am.
seriously, so surely that has got to, in some way, kind of give you
Yes.
the satisfaction. I don't know, the
Well,
nourishment that you got.
it does, and I think I'm going to segue this into an interesting self-image conversation. Maybe it's the last topic that we touched. I'm obsessed with value in my life. I'm obsessed with having a purpose in terms of helping others, specifically my children. I'm obsessed with moving the needle a click and demonstrating to my kids. I know this sounds like I'm polishing a halo, but showing my kids what a good citizen is like. And you don't have to, nobody has to do everything that I'm doing to do this, but I'm obsessed with it. That's what keeps me doing this. And I'm also always, like every actor, like every creative, you're always fighting self-esteem issues. You're always fighting the person that you're perceived and the person you see in the mirror. Kenny, you said something the other day, or you wrote
did?
it. Yeah. And it really caught me by surprise because you said, and you'll have to correct it. You realized that you're much better looking than you thought you were, or something like that. Do you know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
Right. Yeah, I
Yes,
mentioned that you had seen pictures of yourself as a young man.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Yeah.
here to tell you, I thought you were cute the first moment I met you. I thought you were a very handsome guy the moment
But
I
I'm
met
talking
you.
about our own self-esteem. It has nothing to do with that. I look in the mirror and I see faults. I don't know if other people do. But I don't know if Brad Pitt looks in the mirror and goes, I have nothing wrong with me.
No, but that's interesting to me because you see flaws, I see flaws. Steve, I'm sure you see flaws, even though I, somebody will say to me, "Oh, Gary, my wife thinks I'm handsome as all get out." She really does. She said, "I fell in love with you at first because I thought," and I go, "Really? Really? I see where I don't look like Brad Pitt. I see all those differences."
Right. That's what I think most people are like
Okay,
that.
well, I'm putting it to you guys. So where are you in the battle?
Is this purely cosmetic, or are we just talking about in life in terms of self-worth?
Both.
Okay.
Both.
Yeah, you
Wow.
want to go
If I knew
How
that,
you
I'd be
perceive
obsessed.
yourself as a creature, a physical, cerebral, but
Functioning.
also aesthetic human being.
A complete failure.
Steve, go.
Two things. So first, the physical thing. I often will think about Warren Beatty because Warren Beatty is, I don't know how old he is. He's near 90 on either side of it. I don't know where he is. He's a very old man
Okay.
at this time.
Yeah.
He was, as a young man, as good looking a man as
Amazing
ever
looking.
lived.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Kind of Elvis level handsome guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, who do you think's going to go first? Him, Jack Nicholson, or Warren Beatty?
Oh,
Jack.
do you
Jack
allow
will go.
wagering on the show?
I'm wondering, who do you think is going to go?
I think Jack,
Yeah, Jack will go for it.
because I think Jack is a more polluted environment.
You know,
You were-
I wouldn't be surprised if this wasn't on the prediction sites that you can
Oh,
bet
sure.
on.
That particular pairing,
You think that maybe I should put that out there?
I'm in.
No,
So
because
just
all
straight
of these things, that's what they're betting on every fucking possible prediction markets, anything they can come up with. They'll bet on it.
absolutely.
My money's on Jack.
But Steve was going to a very meaningful point here.
Okay. So I'll look at Warren Beatty and I'll think, here was the, Elvis level handsome. Elvis never lived to actually, be an old handsome
Yes, he
guy.
did. He got really ugly.
Yeah. And he got
He got
ugly before he had a
swollen.
chance. So,
Yeah.
was it Warren Beatty or name any, incredibly handsome guy who gets old? Peter O'Toole, anybody, they get old. And I see that I am aging, right? So I'm watching myself aging, and I was, kind of singled out as a handsome person. I was doing like host gigs, and I was doing, acting gigs for handsome guys. So I came through sort of a handsome guy career, and
Oh, I should have taken that path.
yeah, you see, and you'd feel well.
I didn't know I could was the handsome guy.
But
Hang on, there's a cliffhanger. There's a cliffhanger because you don't know if I feel better or worse than you now
being
as a
put
result.
there, though, gave you a certain self-esteem, though, right?
You get the privileges of a handsome guy life, and you know it's an interesting
See,
it's an
I didn't
interesting
think
adventure.
I don't
to
think
be a
I got any
handsome
of the
guy.
privileges. I didn't get any privileges. So I'm just telling you right
Yeah,
now.
no, I had handsome guy privileges.
Yeah, you
And
had
Gary,
handsome
I'm
guy
assuming
privileges.
that you have a life of handsome guy privileges because you were
Yeah,
cast as the handsome guy.
yeah. Well, I find that I get myself to an aggregate feeling. I've always, for the most part, had positive affirmation. But
Hmm.
being the person that I am, and I know you guys share this with yourselves because we're creative people, I'm very susceptible to certain things. Marion Doherty, the famous casting director who discovered James Dean, I auditioned for her. And she said to me, and I was feeling very good about myself. And she said, "You're not gorgeous. You're nice looking, but you're not gorgeous." So that will always be for me the standard. I'm nice
Yeah.
looking.
Right.
I'm nice looking.
Yeah.
But I've
Wow.
come to terms with that.
I had Bob
Brad
Right.
Pitt is
Zaney.
gorgeous.
Bob Zaney as a comic was going to give me. He used to book some gigs out here in California back in the early '90s or whatever, and he said after watching me do a set, he said, "You're not as funny as you think you are, but I'm going to give you a gig," and that was one. That was mine. Of
Yeah.
that.
Zaney
Yeah.
couldn't have been
Yeah.
his real last name. Do you think Bob Zaney?
Bob
I
Zaney.
think,
Yeah, no, he's from a
yeah,
long line
it
of
is. It's
Zaney.
his
Zaney. Some
Wait,
Zaneys
Zaney-
still
I mean, it's
as
probably
well.
Zanovich or something like that originally, but
I
Zany
mean,
is
to
always.
be in comedy and have your
I
last
think the
name
Zany
be-
came first before he was Zany, right?
No, he had no choice. And
Yeah.
he's not zany. That's the interesting thing.
Yeah, he's not
Sort of
Zany.
a old school. He's like a Catskill comic with a cigar and stuff. He's like a sort of a
So wait a
pace
second. You're
delivery.
saying somebody
He's
would go
not
to
zany.
a Zaney show?
He doesn't do a zany show.
He doesn't do a Zaney show.
He does a very traditional sort of mountain
So, but
show.
no. But if somebody said, "Hey, isn't this Bob Zaney?" and he's really not that zany,
He's not a zany person.
well, I want my money back because
Yeah,
if I went to
I'm not,
see
I'm not saddled with a name that
The
people
sign,
Zany.
the sign said zany.
So when was it? Because there was a time when I remember walking past girls, and it was like you'd meet their eye, and there was like they're checking you out. You're kind of
Yeah,
checking
yeah,
them out because there's a
yeah,
possibility,
yeah.
or that thing where you wouldn't go outside unless you put on clothes in case you might run into somebody who's like good looking. When did you get to the point where you go, I don't care anymore? They're not looking at me. They haven't been looking at me for 40 years.
Right, right.
That's what happened, right? Am I right, fellas?
I don't know. I still dress up nice.
You
You
do.
know.
I
For the
there are
ladies?
there are
Yeah, I
seminal
still if I
moments
go
in
out. I
our
mean, they're
lives.
not girls. They're not 20 somethings, but yes, women look at me when I'm dressed
I
nice.
I've always been successful with the ladies. Not every lady that I wanted, but I've never been the desperate guy. So I was feeling very good about myself in my 20s, and I'm jogging with shorts on past some young co-eds. And I heard them as I passed. I could see them look at my legs, and I heard pathetic. I have never recovered from that. And in answer to your question, Kenny, I have never worn shorts since
Wow.
until about the last couple of years because my wife just, well, no matter what I do, she thinks that I'm just fine. So now I don't care anymore. But
Interesting.
all of these years I have cared.
Right. Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
interesting. That it shows you how something like that can just traumatize you.
Yeah, traumatizing.
Yeah.
I'm
Jogging
glad we
by,
got,
thinking that
I'm
I'm
glad we
looking
get to
good,
talk. I'm glad we
pathetic.
talk about
And
all
they
It's
were,
that.
almost it's
I
like
realized then that my legs are skinny and white, and I was like, yeah, I hid them ever since.
Well, just
Would
the
you like to
idea,
see them now?
please.
no, because I'm so much feel like I'm not in the game anymore. I can have I'm much more charming with beautiful women now because I know nothing's gonna happen.
Right,
So I'm
right,
just myself.
right.
And I think to my, and they get, and they love it. And I think to myself, if only I could do this, years ago, be comfortable talking to a woman and
I always was
actually
comfortable.
put, just not care and have a nice, fun, casual conversation. These
I
are the
always
things
was able to
we
talk
need to learn.
to
Kenny, I was saying earlier, though, I remember meeting you for the first time, probably Comic Strip Live, right? Although I feel like
Probably.
I saw you work at
No, I went to
MTV.
see your show. That's where we first met.
Yeah,
David Furish.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I knew who you were from MTV because
Right.
I was
Right.
friends with Alan Hunter and so,
Right.
and I
Right.
always thought you were a very good-looking man.
That's
So
I'm
I've
just,
always been.
you never said anything.
I think I did, but you weren't your charming self then, so it sort of
The
turned me
flowers
off.
didn't tell you anything.
No.
Uh,
So
yeah.
anyway, I've always been surprised that you have, that you don't view yourself with that sort of swagger.
I don't think I'm the only one. I think a lot of people, but just based on your life experience. Now, first of all, you have to understand something. As a matter of fact, I have a picture, and I'll probably flash it. There's a picture of me as a young man. I look like, Edward E. Newman.
You,
Was that his name?
Alfred E. Newman.
Alfred E. Newman. Anyhow, when I was a kid, I was not the cutest kid. As a matter of fact, I remember being next to a really cute kid and two girls who were like flirting with us. And we were like 7 or whatever, going, "Oh, look how cute this one is. Oh, look at." She talked about my friend Seth. Oh, he's so cute. And then they
Yeah,
looked at me and they went, "Oh."
7 years
those are
old. It's
traumatizing
traumatizing.
I
moments.
had, I had,
Once
I
again.
had freckles, I had braces, and I had glasses.
Okay.
I was not good with the ladies.
No, yeah. Steve, you've always had a little swagger, right? Come on.
Girls have always been very nice to me. I've always been very nice to girls. I've had a very nice relationship with the opposite sex like my whole life. I was deflowered at a very, very young age.
You were
Um,
9.
I was 12.
12?
I was
How'd
12.
that
I
happen?
guess
How'd
I
that
was
Does it
raped.
even,
I was raped by a 16-year-old girl at
how can
12.
that happen at 12? It
Oh, it only
functions?
took us an hour to get into this subject. We should have opened. We should have
Yeah,
opened with
should
this.
have opened with it. Should
Go
have
But
opened
ahead.
with
yeah,
it.
I hope people
yeah,
stayed with us. Go ahead. I want to hear this story.
yeah. So
Well,
I'm not going to give. I actually know her name. I never forgot her name because you don't forget
well,
somebody's name
isn't
like
that
that.
not? You don't want to forget your first 12-year-old.
She was
You were
16.
12.
Oh,
You were
she was
12.
She was
16.
16.
You were 12. She was
Uh,
16.
She
yeah.
would be canceled today.
She would
And
be
so
canceled.
what? How did this happen, Steve? Tell us the
I went
details.
to her house to hang out with her. I guess I expected to make out with her.
Oh, you did have
Because
an
I don't
anticipated.
think I knew what making out was at 12.
I had already, I think I was already smoking weed and I may have already had acid by the time I was 12. I had already gotten on stage at the Improv at 12 years old.
Wow. We got to
Really?
start the next podcast with this. And it'll
Wow.
just be this story.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, it's
want your
true.
entire 12th year
It was
to fill an
it
hour.
was an intense year for a 12-year-old. And by the time I was 13, I was hitchhiking to Watkins Glen for like the Grateful Dead and the Allman Brothers.
Oh my God. Taking brown acid.
Taking acid.
Oh my God. Honestly, I still wore a dickie when I was 12.
Oh, I was wearing a
Really?
dick. Don't trip
Where
without a dick.
I don't,
So I end up having sex with this girl, and I don't know what to do. I don't actually know
Right.
at 12
Right.
how to. I
And there
don't
was
know
no
that I'm
YouTube.
supposed to
no
move.
YouTube.
There was no
So I
YouTube.
didn't.
There was no OnlyFans.
There was nothing. There was nowhere to learn.
Right.
So,
Wow. No,
wow,
but I got to tell
wow.
you, that, yeah, but that's great. I envy that. I'm sorry you were raped, but I
Yeah,
still,
you can tell your wife is fine with this story, right? I mean,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
but do
think
you
I
think,
could tell my wife if I
but
had
you,
such a story. Yeah, I had sex at 12.
but you used
Kenny?
the word rape. How is that rape?
I didn't do
Well, he was
it. Like
12.
I,
How is it
yeah,
not?
yeah. I was not.
Well, no, rape to me is an unwillingness, right? Not, it's
But you don't
non-consensual.
get to make the choice at 12.
Right. That's
Your
why.
will,
No,
your
That's why that
willingness
rape is
is not
different.
excuse
legal.
me. Your penis makes the choice at 12, okay? The
Mine
mind
didn't.
has nothing to do with this,
I had a
okay?
12-year-old penis. It knew nothing. It knew
My
nothing.
penis didn't know anything.
Exactly. That's why I'm not sure it's rape because the penis willingly did it, Steve. The penis was willing, am I right?
I have a feeling
I don't know. Let's
this
put
is
it on
where
the
this
stand.
This is where this show is going to conclude, is on our willing penis. You know what? I don't think it could end in a better place.
Yeah.
Because it gives us a place to start the next time we get together. I want to say thank you to our viewers and our listeners. We're on YouTube, The Gary and Kenny Show. Please, if you like the show, give us a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. We're on all the popular podcast platforms, Spotify, yada, 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 Amazon, and what else, Kenny?
Gary, where are they seeing you? If you're telling them where to see you, where is it they are seeing you?
I don't know what that means.
I do. I know exactly what he means.
What do you mean?
Well, if they're not watching us and you're telling them that how to watch us, how would they know that you're telling them how to watch
They
us?
got to be watching.
I think we're going to need graphs and pictures. Explain that. I don't know. Thanks, Steve Ochs, the author, the comedian, for being with us. And Kenny, thank you for finding the time, for carving it out and sharing it with us today. So long, everyone.
Bye.